Jamie, we are blessed to have one of my dear friends. I love him to life. I really do. I think he's a genuine man. First of all, he's a heck of an athlete. You may not know that.
I do know
and
that.
Smart and intelligent.
We used to do treadmills in the morning, like at 6 a.m. He knows that. Yeah.
Anyway, man, we're just coming off a phenomenal Super Bowl in an NFL 100 season. And guess what, man? I was a part of that. Commissioner, you did a great job, man. Give me your reflection on last season.
Well, hey, Prime and Jamie, it's great to be with you guys. Last season, it seems like so long ago. It seems like 100 years ago, but it really was a great celebration for us to celebrate our players, the game, so many great moments over those 100 years, the things that make us so special and our foundation that really led to our success. So to me, the 100th was really sort of a capstone to, and being the commissioner while that 100th anniversary was going on was pretty cool.
You were on the field like pre-Super Bowl, and I was sitting in the waiting room. Hey, man, Brett Favre just walked in, Joe Montana, Lawrence Taylor, and they just kept coming and coming. And I was floored. And it really didn't hit me until Devin Hester, the guy that said he looked up to me in college and we became friends. And he was like a little brother to me. He was like my son, kind of. And to see him in that room, tears came to my eyes. I'm like, oh my God, this is phenomenal. The history that was in that room and on that field, Commissioner, it floored me, man. When you saw all the guys assemble right prior to kickoff, man, how did you feel?
It just, I was awed myself. I mean, these guys are my heroes. So, I'm looking up to all these guys who, I just loved watching and had the privilege to get to know personally. And, one of the things I talk about all the time that really meant a great deal to me was being able to call these guys to tell them they made the 100th anniversary team. And that moment was great. And I remember Devin, exactly my conversation with him. He was floored by it. And to hear their reaction when they make that. And to your point, I think it hits you when you walk in that room and you see all these other incredible players and incredible men standing around you. That's just, that's a once in a lifetime. And by the way, only 100 guys make that.
100.
So that's pretty cool.
Did you go back and look at the broadcast? Because obviously you didn't have the tickets this year, but you go back and you watch that. And on TV, it was just amazing. I was almost in tears because, again, these are so many of my friends, people that I know, and watching it unfold before the world in those red jackets. Did you go back and look and have a moment at all?
Yeah, definitely, Jamie, because, when you're at the Super Bowl, so much is going on and you're being pulled 5 different ways at once. And I love going back, but that was the moment I actually wanted to go back and watch because, it really was a moment that will never happen again. And, we'll have halftime shows, we'll have a lot of other things, but to see the 100 greatest players standing out there on the field prior to our Super Bowl is just one of those moments that, it'll never go away. And
let me congratulate you. And again, I don't want to, as I saw your comments, and I agree with you, not to jinx anything, but the execution of the National Football League being able to open the doors on time. You would. On time. Yes. Dr. Sills has done an amazing job along with the medical staff of making this happen. Kind of walk us through kind of the whole process and what you had to deal with. I know you dealt with the commissioners and all the other leagues and you guys have been in a lot of communication, but what was that process like?
Well, first of all, you're dealing with uncertainty and that's hard to deal with, right? So none of us really knew how things were going to unfold. The 2 big things that I was focused on is stay on time, that we needed to do everything to change our operation and get things done. People wanted to delay free agency. People wanted to delay the draft. People wanted to delay everything. And my mantra was we have to stay on schedule and we need to be prepared to kick off. And we need to be able to do everything that's necessary in the offseason to get our teams in that place. The other thing was really teamwork. You mentioned Dr. Sills, he's done an incredible job, but, we worked really closely with the NFLPA's medical team. We've worked with our medical experts. We worked with our players who were really involved on how we put those protocols together. And our clubs who had to implement those protocols. It's really been a collective effort that I think may be one of the crowning achievements of the league, ultimately, to be able to pull this all together, to get this done in a safe way for our players and coaches and participants, and now our fans. You know, we're the one league that's been able to bring fans into this, and that's going to continue to grow. We're getting more and more fans that will be able to attend games in more and more of our communities. So to me, this is a really it's a powerful moment and a good moment for us. But I will say this: you cannot get comfortable. And, you know, on time, prime time, we cannot get comfortable.
I like that. I like that. Minimal COVID cases. We have canceling the preseason was big. I was praying you did that. You guys did that. But I think your biggest task that it goes so underrated. We've shared the locker room with 52 other men with a bunch of egos with 52. You got 32 billionaires to deal with. How do you deal with 32 billionaires telling them, hey guys, this is what we should do. Trust me on this one. That has to be tough.
No, you know, the big thing on this is that nobody likes change, right? Coaches don't like change. You know, going to the draft and telling them they had to do the draft from home was, you know, that call was rough, you know, because they never had done that before. And there were all kinds of reasons why we shouldn't do that. But to me, we had to be ready to do that because we didn't know what the circumstances were going to be a few weeks later in our society, in our country, and in our world. And we were going to be prepared to do that. And so our teams did that, and they executed really well on that. And so all of us have a reluctance to change, but to us, we try to embrace that. Our coaches have embraced that. Our owners have embraced that. And more importantly, our players. They've done an incredible job, our players. Well, you know, I have the greatest respect for sitting with two of them. They've done a great job of taking care of themselves, following the protocols, and making sure they take care of one another.
You know, the irony of this, if you think about it, you go back and you do the quality control check on the quality of play. I think the play was outstanding. Week one, I've always said kind of week 1, week 2 are still preseason games because guys aren't really playing in the preseason. But I really thought the play on the field was exceptional.
You know, it was one of the most pleasant surprises I had from the first weekend. You know, if we look at how we normally look at it, scoring was high, injuries were down, there weren't many fouls across the league. Games were really competitive. You know, we saw a really great first week. And so I would agree with you. Now, how that translates into the future, whether we reduce the number of preseason games in the future, I've always been a big one in believing that we should go down to 3 or 2 preseason games. That will probably impact on us. And we'll learn something from our experience this year that will impact what we're doing going forward.
Mr. Commissioner, I would like to introduce you to Coach Prime.
Coach Prime.
Coach Prime.
Yeah.
What went through your mind, as you got an understanding of, you know, Deion leaving the network, something going on here, not sure. What were your initial thoughts about that?
Well, first, how much pride I have in him because, you know, he always finds a way to make a difference in people's lives. He spent so much of his life following his playing days of giving back and during his playing days, but giving back by coaching. And, you know, he does a lot with youth football, and he's talked to me about that a lot, and he's changed a lot of kids' lives. And I think that's really extraordinary. So what struck me the most was how fortunate Jackson State is to have Coach Prime and how fortunate those kids are to have Coach Prime, because he's not going to just make them better football players. He's going to make them better men, and he's going to change their lives for the better. And that, to me, I think that's a great thing. And the other thing was, I know he's going to bring a lot of former NFL players to the coaching ranks at Jackson State, which I think will translate into more coaches in all of our ranks, whether it's the college level or the NFL level. And that's really important to me also.
Yeah, we have 8 guys that played or coached in the NFL that's on the staff. Jamie, I don't know if it's tampering because I'm really not a coach in the NFL.
Okay, so you're not. Okay.
And I don't know if it's NCAA regulation, but there's a kid at IMG
Oh,
that has the last name of Goodell, and I'm recruiting him right now.
Okay.
I don't know. Should I go through the kid, the mother,
talk to his uncle,
the
maybe.
uncle?
Maybe talk to the rich
you
uncle.
got to give me some guidance.
Yeah, the
because
rich uncle.
I don't want to be in violation.
Yeah. What's that like as a fan? And now,
For my nephew Charlie, you got to come through the commish, baby.
I got you. I'm going straight to you. Hey, Commissioner, we appreciate you, man. We love you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey, Coach, I wish you all the best, man. We'll be rooting for Jackson State all along and you. So good luck.